Joe, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
I am good.
Thursday morning.
Happy Thursday morning. I like how we could see the seasons change around you by how much light is coming through your windows and how bright you are. You're bright this morning, man. Like spring is here. Spring Joe has arrived.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting there. I still have my winter clothes that I like to wear and get bundled up in the morning.
Could you keep your house at 54 degrees in Florida?
Yeah. How was your week?
The week is good. Yeah, the week is good. It's been busy, boring, busy with one of my main consulting client has a really big project that we've been working on. So I've been kind of huddled up with just boring old, computer time, not the exciting, endeavors that you guys and you come here for. No big snake endeavors this week, man.
No. Hey, did you, what? Hey, listen, I don't sound tired. Now stop this. This is our,
Oh, look at Shane coming out of the gate firing.
For some reason, I have this thing that I want to talk about, but for some reason I can't get it to upload. I had a picture that I wanted to, but I don't know. There's something that's happening. So that's maybe I'm concentrating a little too hard on this.
You got tired from concentrating for a little bit?
I got tired from concentrating.
That sounds like something my son would say to get out of doing homework. I got tired from concentrating, so I took a break.
Maybe I got to share screen. What do you think of that? Maybe I'll do that. Hang on.
Yeah, press the little share button at the bottom.
You talk a little bit. And I'll try and do this because this was my one thing that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, you got the little plus sign at the bottom. Click that, and then you share the image.
No, none of it's working.
Did you take the image on your iPhone?
I did.
All right, you probably need to convert the image from HEIC format to JPEG or PNG format.
Yeah.
You just open it on your computer and then hit save as and pick a different way to save it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to do that. Why don't you talk about something different?
Here we go. It's Proper Cup of Joe, where me and Joe hang out each week. And Joe's got questions. I got snakes. I made some life choices that Joe has questions about.
Yeah.
And we figure it out here together. And we've been at this for some time. And we do this every Thursday morning. So coming to you ad-free from our good friends at Palm Street. Go check out Palm Street if you're into a live selling platform. And microphones falling over. A live selling platform that welcomes reptile sales, and not only welcomes, but supports the industry. So, look at Joe. Uploads here. Oh, I like what I saw there. A little sneak peek.
Yeah.
So that's Palm Street. The seller application is right down below in the description. And then Husbandry.pro. Like this is like a promo, but also like a good announcement, good content. Husbandry.pro is just about to finally. That's a little rib on them. They've done it the right way, but finally release Husbandry.pro next. And it's got a whole new level of analytics, a whole new level of a new platform, new interface, user interface. Like I say, analytics, lineage, more convenience for you and your customers, higher levels of project management, all that stuff. If you're interested in beta testing that, go check out Husbandry.pro. Husbandry.pro, and you get all the updates on when it's going to be released and all that. You can follow them on Instagram, YouTube, and see the previews on YouTube. And you can check out Billy Mutation Creations recent Monday night podcast with Craig, and they had like a roundtable, a whole bunch of cool people, including Shane from Small Town Exotics, talking about the Husbandry.pro next updates. So that's cool. Last but not least, you got to go check out Cold Blooded Cafe, of course. Get yourself free shipping on orders over $200 if you use the promo code PROPER11. Joe, if you were going to order some frozen rodents, where would you order them from, man?
Only the freshest.
Only the freshest.
Cafe, yes.
Right. You just open it up, you smell it. You smell it. You know why you ordered from there when you do, man. So okay, you got the you had a little prep time there, a little show prep. What do you got for us, Joe? What's this excitement that you've built up now?
Yeah, I know it's not because it's not that exciting. But I wanted some expert opinions about this thing that happened.
Okay.
So my one of my buddies, he has a car, and we were at a place together, and he said, I don't know what this is. There's a bunch of pollen all around, right? So the pollen falls on the car, and he's got like this, he's got these markings on his car in the pollen. And he thinks it's, well, should I show it to you, or should I just ask you, or should I just say what he thinks it is?
Well, give us what he thinks it is, and then we'll take a look.
Well, he thinks it's a snake.
Okay.
That's why I'm bringing it to you guys.
All right.
But it's a rather large impression that it's made in the pollen on his car. So
see what we could get from this thing. I always like the wildlife episodes with Joe, by the way. Those are some of my favorite episodes. All right. Well, look at that. So what we have to decipher here is, how much of that is tracks. Like you're not the length of all the footprints you leave on the beach. So like that's a path.
That makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. That
the snake took. Now the width of it, it is a pretty good width snake. It looks
do you think it's a snake?
I do. Oh, I definitely think it's a snake. I mean,
yeah,
I definitely think it's a snake. What do you think it is? Well, what else did you think it was?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It may be. I don't know what else it could be. I'm not really too sure. I was wondering what you all thought. I mean, you're saying definitely this is a snake, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else has some knowledge about what tracks look like or something like that. I don't know, and I don't know. Is there a way to zoom in? I'm not too sure. Maybe that would be helpful. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Yeah. But here's what here we go. Here's my theory. Okay, I think. Well, first, it is longer than it is wider, of course, which every snake is. That'd be a round ball if it wasn't. But it's not like a python. It's not. This isn't somebody's pet. I don't think. This is a longer colubrid-like snake. It's in Florida. I think you're looking at a classic like a black racer or just a corn snake that has been feeding pretty well and enjoying life and doing just fine. Now, what's interesting is it looks to me like the pollen has created like a splatter pattern forward towards the front of the car. And now that makes me wonder if the snake fell out of the tree straight onto the car somehow. Do you see the splatter? Okay. Like a paint splatter forward, doesn't it? Did the snake in the morning dew fall out of the tree and
look at that. That's interesting.
And splatter the pollen forward. But then it would make me wonder what arboreal species. You don't have much arboreal species in Florida. So maybe I'm going too far on that thought. But could have come off a roof gutter, off of a roof, the edge of a, I don't know. I'm not sure, man. A rafter in a garage. It was pretty cool, I thought. What's the chat think?
Oh, let me see what the chat thinks here.
Oh, can you zoom that thing?
I'm trying to zoom in a little bit.
Look at you.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at there. Look at there. Look at there.
Now, see,
yeah,
again,
I see what you're saying. Like the splatter goes out like that.
yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, or
So
the track, the water runoff is going forward, which is opposite of how it would be going if he was driving that. Now it does
right,
look like
yeah.
there's an entry on the side and an entry off the other. Oh, hang on, maybe it was really wet. Maybe it was a water moccasin. Maybe it had a lot of water on it from splattering down. Jen has a good theory. Maybe a bird dropped it.
Oh, bird dropped it. Yeah, that could be.
There is a bird poo right there too. Look at that.
Where is that?
Right there.
I think the bottom line is this guy needs to clean his car.
If he were in Lonsdale, I'd tell him to swing by Hometown Shine, home of the world famous $1.50 car wash, my man.
Yes. And it's funny because I didn't notice this up here either. This is like a lighter track here, and that's
true.
Really strange. Yeah. So there's these.
Oh, maybe it was a conjugal meeting between two snakes on the hood. Paradise.
Well, look at this.
Lights, man.
Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, because one is like this, and then there's another one like this.
No way.
Holy smokes!
I wonder.
And they're kissing up here.
Is that's the love? That's the Lady in the Tramp right there. That's the spaghetti kiss.
All right. Well, I'm going back to him and going. You got two big snakes making love on the hood of your car. They found a spot to get busy.
Elias nailed it. I mean, that is spot on for that. That's how it's done in Florida. That's the Florida snake right there, man. That's what we all hear.
Does sound very Florida.
Very Florida. That is very on brand for Florida.
On the car.
Yeah, I think people like rat snake for this particular conundrum here.
Okay, a rat snake. So what? Give me a little bit of. Can you give me a little bit of information on a rat snake?
Not a whole lot there. I did coincidentally, I got a little bit of information on them yesterday. I guess corn snakes are technically part of the rat snake family. So there's a whole lot of corn snakes and rat snakes in Florida. They're colubrids. They're long and slender. They come in a variety of colors, almost like the wide variety of ball pythons. They're known a little bit less for their pattern definition, and they're pretty voracious and wild in Florida. They're all around in Florida, man.
All right, and they eat rats.
They eat some rats. There you go. It's kind of the universal name of fits really well, I suppose, if you wanted
to. And so I should tell them, you keep this snake around and keep the rats away.
Oh, definitely. That snake. I don't believe there's any harm that's coming to any human from that snake. There's only benefits coming with that snake around. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let them know. Well, thanks for all of your great expertise here. I appreciate it, guys. Now I got something to talk to my friend about. Not Aaron, that I struggle with anything.
Aaron has some personal interactions with some rat snakes as well.
Okay. An angry bitch, huh? Okay.
That's right. Yep. There's some rock and roll songs like that. It's it's okay. Check this out. A little $10 in the jar to keep the lights on. Thank you, Elias, as always. You guys can check Creative Reptiles. Thank you so much.
Here, I'll remove this. Yes.
You've had enough of that?
This. Yeah, we don't need this
in
our lives anymore. So that was my one thing.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
We had this conversation and I was like, where I could take this. And he didn't know I have a snake podcast.
That's right. You were like, it just so turns out I'm very well known.
Surprised. Yeah. I only met him like maybe 6 months ago. And I was like, I have a snake podcast every Thursday morning.
You're at that point in your relationship where you let it out? Yeah.
Yes. It takes me a minute sometimes to let people know.
That's pretty good.
And like, I'm not ashamed of it, but it does. I mean, just like we've talked about in the past, there's certain moments where you go, okay, I'm comfortable enough to let people know that I'm a snake guy. But that's the thing. I'm not a snake guy. I only play one on TV. That's what. I don't really play one on TV. I'm the guy that doesn't know anything about snakes. That's what the show is all about.
That's where that was the genesis. But also now you're experiencing some of the genesis of the show. Like, did I tell people this? How long do I have to know them before I tell them this?
Yeah.
One of the viewers one time was like, how long do you date a person before you tell them that you have, snakes in the basement kind of deal? So yeah, it's now you're getting just the slightest smidgen of the experience, Joe.
And Jen, that's perfect. I'm snake adjacent.
That's right. You are snake adjacent.
Adjacent. Awesome. That's what I'm going to say from now on.
I don't know. I do every now and again, just things hit me. I was like, I had a big moment of reflection this week. Actually, I think it's because I was looking forward. We've talked sometimes. I keep a spreadsheet of my life goals and primarily the financial ones and the spreadsheets.
Of course.
It's in good shape. It's doing well. And I would argue that it does well because I keep the spreadsheet and I focus on the goals and you stay focused and you accomplish things and blah, blah, blah. But I was looking back because I'm 46 now. And I was like, well, standard operating procedure is that I got about another 20 years before I retire. And I was like, 20 years, that's a long time. And I went back and it hit me 20 years ago. I was 26. I had quit I was unemployed, but I'd quit my job at Ruby Tuesday after 10 years. I didn't really have a plan or a direction. I was living on my father's floor in his spare bedroom because he doesn't have a bed in his spare bedroom and I didn't own a bed. And I owned about a suitcase worth of clothes, 3 or 4 guitars and my vehicle. And, that's about literally all that I had to my name. And it wasn't quite as treacherous as it seems because I have a good family and, it wasn't, I had a little bit in the bank, so I was able to eat and all of that stuff. But it was a really confusing time in my life because I had just putting 10 years of my life into Ruby Tuesday and I had nothing to show for it. I was a general manager. I had my own store at 25 and I would just blow money. I didn't have a drug. I didn't do drugs. I didn't have a drug problem. I didn't have I certainly didn't have a guitar collection worth, what my salary had been and what I'd been earning. And it was just a real one of those moments in my life where I was like, you need to get your stuff together, man. And I've told this story before. I got
Wait, you're 26, man.
I know,
that's what you're supposed to do. Really, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to hear from the chat. I mean, 26, like you're getting on your 26-year-old self about not having your stuff together, not having your life together.
Well, I don't think that you magically turn a switch on. I think you start putting one foot in front of the other to kind of get there.
All right.
But I did have some serious questions of okay, what am I doing? Like this isn't how it works. I don't accomplish a really good job for somebody at that age. And then, have 10 years of experience in it and then not have anything to show for it. So it was a little bit of hey, maybe you should live a little bit differently. Maybe you should have, or have amazing. It wasn't like I was well, I have nothing to show for it, but I've climbed Everest. It wasn't that. I lived in Wetumpka, Alabama. That's what I had to show for it.
Yeah. Okay.
I got you. You know what I mean? And look, Caffeinated Lizard says I was homeless at 26. So that's what I'm saying. I did have resources.
I love hearing that. Actually, yeah. I don't mean I love hearing that someone was homeless. I love that there is such a past. It reminds me of everybody that comes here on Thursday mornings, everybody that I've gotten to know over the past almost 3 years, like all of their histories, that, you know, sometimes you just forget that there's a whole, when you're talking and you're conversing with somebody, there's a whole history behind that is extraordinary.
Right.
And I don't think anybody is really ordinary. I think they are extraordinary where they come from. And then at this moment, every Thursday at 7:30 Eastern, we get together and we get to talk with those people, converse with those people, hang with those people, and not just those people, but their whole histories, bringing you know, insight into this conversation. It's really cool. But you were saying that.
Well, I think so. And I, you know, even just like sitting here, I thought, well, what resources did I have? I had a family. I had somebody that was willing to put up with me living in the spare bedroom. But I had a resume as well. And somebody said, and I thought I was going to go be, my goal really was to just get a job and go back to school and work on a master's degree and become a teacher. And somebody said, you know, you should talk to the PGA Tour. They need they need some food and beverage help over at, and I was like, I thought I was done with restaurants, but that's got a nice ring to it. Let me check that out. And so I did. And this is, you know, like we like big, like moments rather than all the little mundane context that's the real reality of life. But what really stuck with me was I had a suit and I put on a suit to go interview, and I got a second interview. And I was like, I don't have a different suit to wear. And these people seem like legit, like everybody's wearing suits. Everything is top notch here. I'm a little bit of a fish out of water. And so I went to, for the one and only time in my life that I've ever pawned a guitar, I went to a pawn shop and I pawned my Les Paul, the Gibson Les Paul that I had at the time. That was like the one thing that I had to show for all the work, the thing that was like, hey, you can get the things in life that you really like. And Les Paul guitars at the time, and now I've since owned quite a few more, but that was the very first one. And I took it, and I remember the pawn shop guy being like, I'll give you $200 for it. And I was like, this is a 1978 Les Paul custom. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? And he was like, that's how it works. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm done. And I forget what he said, but he said something that just really like turned the screw. I can't remember if I told him, because he did the thing like, what are you looking for? What do you need the money for? He's trying to figure out if I'm coming back for this guitar or not, you know? And he said, I don't know if I told him I needed to pawn it to buy a suit for a job or what. And he was like, you're not going to, how else are you going to get the job? Who else is going to, I'm the one that's going to help you. And it was like, just total punch down. Like, this is the best you got.
Terrible.
Kid, you know? And so I think he ended up giving me like another $50 or something. So I took the money, I got the suit, I got the job, and I eventually got that guitar back and off I went. But yeah, 20 years ago, I just think about like you say, how things change and how opportunities are. And I also think like we get mired in like, oh, here's what I do. This is what I do. I'm in my mid 40s. This define. You got a whole other 20 years of stuff to figure out. And you can work longer than that if you want. And 20 years is forever, man. And it took me a minute to go. Like I was on the floor in my dad's spare bedroom pawning Les Pauls. And now in some way, I mean, I've lived a lot of life in that time, but it also doesn't feel like that crazy of a long time. And I've enjoyed it too. It's been a fun ride, man. I'm okay with it. So
I see what you're saying. You were thinking about the next 20 years, and then you were looking back 20 years ago,
right?
And you were going, my life has changed so much.
Wildly.
Yeah, crazy that in the next 20 years, it's going to change that much again.
Yeah, like what if, not that I want to lose anything, but what if I just mentally said, I want to do something completely different? Most people would go, you're insane. And I would go, you don't know what my last 20 years looked like. Watch me, pal. Yeah, buckle up.
Do you think that is specific to you, or do you think that's pretty much everybody's life? Is that if they were to look back 20 years ago, that's what they would go, wow, it's completely different, a completely different place. Do you think that's like, what percentage of the population do you think actually can do that and go, wow, I was completely different in a completely different place, situation, when I was 26 as opposed to 46?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I have these weird conversations with my son sometimes that are basically him going, I'm a kid, I've never done this before, and me going, you're my only son, I've never done this before. Like, I don't know. This is the only life I've ever lived, Joe. I have no idea. I'm still trying to get my head around my own life and my own what I do, you know. So I don't know.
I want to hear from the chat. Actually, I want to hear more. So, homeless at 26. I want to where were you and what were you doing 20 years ago?
Right.
If you were alive 20 years ago. I know we probably had listeners that might not have been, they might have been 3 or something. So that's definitely different. And like, how different is it now? I'm just, wow. Okay. All right.
In Iraq. That's a different experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. I was living in New York City, married to a completely different person.
I forgot you had that whole marriage. Yeah, that's true. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I was married for 4.5 years. Long time to be married, you know. So we
slow time right down, huh?
No, she was great. And living in New York City, I was a hospice chaplain at this time. Yes, actually. This is actually, I probably graduated from graduate school, had the chaplain job lined up. But I think it was 20 years ago, yesterday, I graduated from my master's program.
See, isn't it cool to just like take a moment and be like, what, you know?
Yes. And completely different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unbelievably different.
It's amazing to look back. And like I say, we're in that like sweet spot of like, oh, that was an amazing amount of life I lived in that stretch. Right. Hopefully, I mean, barring me getting run over by a bus, like I think I could kick out another 20 years, you know? I think I could do okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jen.
How about that?
3 kids.
All perspectives, man. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, just again, it's amazing when you really start to think about everything that we've gone through, and just what every individual has gone through, and then when you speak to that person, that they are bringing that whole history to the conversation. They're bringing their whole lives to each little word that they choose to say to you. And that's like, I think we don't really value that as much
we don't.
Could, you know,
just hit me as you're saying that. Like, there's all of that context and all of that experience, and we immediately go to like, who did they vote for? What are they? You know what I mean?
Right,
like, it's such a binary thing, you know. Like there's so much more to every individual person. And we just get watered down with just the simplistic, and I do it. I'm not knocking anybody. It's a frustrating context society. But yeah, that's cool, man. Anyway, I didn't think it would.
Yeah, it's fun to think about.
Yeah, I didn't think all of that would lead there, but that's it's really cool. And hey, preemptively, I gotta just, while it's on my mind, I'll do a pre and a post, but happy pre-Mother's Day. There is me in the sidecar at about 2 years old with my mom, and I keep her picture on my desk. On the flip side of, hey, 20 years from now, I'll be 66. My mother passed away at 59. And, you know,
wow.
You never know how life goes. And anyway, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I mean it with you know. So I hope all the moms get a little loving this weekend. They deserve every bit of it, you know?
Yeah. Especially Jen.
Especially Jen. Yeah.
There's 3 kids going through a divorce 20 years ago.
That's right. I trust that they're all well and looking after mom. You want to talk some cool snakes, Joe?
Yeah, let's go.
The coolest ball python in the world segment is brought to you by Heart of the Python. That's Kate at Bill Peaver. I just shipped out a snake to them this week. It arrived yesterday. Bill and Kate are over in Massachusetts. They're a family operation working Monarch and Puzzle from Kate. Bill works Monsoon, and the kids are working Sunset and Clown. And they have a really cool initiative. So Heart of the Python is kind of their breeder brand, but they have a brand called the Heart line, which is snakes, ball pythons that are bred for temperament. And really interesting work that they're doing on that. Dedicated work. If you're interested in a ball python, bred for temperament, bred for how it eats, what it eats, and how it interacts with humans and kind of the temperament in it. That they put in a lot of work on that. It's pretty neat. So Heart of the Python everywhere, and Heartline on TikTok. Go check them out. Thank you.
Do a lot of breeders do that kind of thing?
I don't think so.
Temperament?
I do not.
I never hear about it. All these 3 years, I've never really heard about it. Any other
Look at that. We say their name. Pow! There she is.
Yeah.
No, I think it's I think I will say I think people are more likely to sell an animal with less desirable temperament than to keep it if there's a choice of all else equal. But generally, genetics are what people are visual genetics are what people are breeding for. So cool endeavor from Heart of the Python. This is this week's. I got to bring up the data on this. I got the picture already. I want to make sure that I get this right. There's a lot going on here. I have actually seen this snake in person. I made a reel about this snake, or one of the parents of this snake. I'll tell you that story in a second. Check this out. Here we go. The coolest ball python in the world this week. Add to the stage. Bam! Look at that thing, Joe. Lots going on, my man. I thought when I first saw that, I didn't think it was a ball python. I thought it was called a blood python. This snake recently had a meal, I would bet. So it's a little bit thicker in the midsection. So it didn't, between everything going on and the thicker midsection, that I didn't think was a ball python. And I actually scrolled past it. And then I was like, wait a minute. I think I recognize that snake. And so that snake, let's first off, let me give some credit here. I believe the breeder's name is Nicole, and her brand absolutely is Canadian Regis. She's out of the Toronto area. I met her last September when I was up in Toronto, and she does amazing things with a gene called Hurricane. And this is a super hurricane that is also nicknamed Hayabusa. The combo is, not the snake. So super hurricane, 2 copies of Hurricane. And then actually, this is another cool example. It's not that complicated of a snake to make. This is a Hurricane Freeway, which is another nickname for, let me see, yellow belly, asphalt, and then it has leopard. So there's a lot going on there, but no recessives in here. So super hurricane, leopard, asphalt, yellow belly, or leopard, Hayabusa, freeway, I guess is what the nicknames are, combos are that we would. Have I sufficiently confused you, Joe?
I mean, I think what's a hurricane? You said that like 7 times.
Hurricane is we call it an incomplete dominant. So it's 1 gene. And if there's 2 copies of Hurricane, we call it super hurricane, or we call it Hayabusa.
Okay. And where would I see that? Like, what are the attributes of that gene?
Oh, right. Okay. So, this is like a really, I don't know if it was, I wouldn't say it was luck. It took purpose to create this animal. This is a really great example of all of these traits working really well together and magnifying each other. So,
okay.
A super hurricane makes kind of these loopy patterns. They almost joke that it's like a flex, like an arm flexing is kind of what it typically makes. A super hurricane will tie those together. Now, the freeway also makes those kind of wild mesh patterns down the sides. So those are magnifying the effects of each other. Really, really smart pairing or really smart production when it came to the super hurricane and the freeway. And then leopard even breaks up pattern even more. So that's causing even more, a little bit of wild disruption. But leopard is a really, really darkening gene too. So it's bringing a lot of contrast in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the yellow belly part in asphalt is brightening it. So you're getting the yellow and the black contrast, which is really cool. And then that pattern is amazing. So it's really, really well defined. Usually freeway, super gravel, highways, they lose definition on the sides. This snake is incredibly well defined. All of that problem of those combos losing that definition down the side. Really, really amazing animal, I think.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So there's a certain sheen to it. Like,
yes.
It's like there. So where does that come from?
It's possible that this snake has not yet had its first shed, although I think that it has because it has a meal in it, mostly clearly, but sometimes they are born that way. The very first shed is incredibly shiny. The skin that they're born with is very, very shiny. So it's possible that this animal has not had its first shed. I see that it's on just a wet paper towel, which is typical for keeping neonate hatchlings. So it's possible that it's from its first, not shedding. The other possibility is that it's just a little bit wet and it's really glistening and it's really that bright. And it could be both actually as well.
So that adds something to it. That for me anyway, that looks great.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, so you see how like towards the front of the snake and towards the back of the snake, there's like a higher contrast. Like there's a sharpness to the contrast.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the middle of the snake, there's it's a little blurry.
Yeah, we call that
the sharpness blurs.
We call that flaming. You talking about like those oranges coming up from the bottom that are a little blurry there?
Yeah. But like even the sharpness on top of the snake is less so. And I'm wondering if that's just because it did have a meal and it's kind of expanded a little bit. Does the pattern does anything change like when there's an expansion of the snake in the middle? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you were to have a stretchy piece of cloth and you were to stretch it, it would look a bit different, and actually the contrast between two colors might blur a little bit. Yeah.
Like if I were to have a rubber band from a broccoli that said Andy Boy on it and I stretched it, it would distort.
Yeah.
When I stretch it.
Would yeah. Does that happen with snakes?
Probably not to the extent that we're sort of describing with the rubber band. However, I think in a picture, yes, it probably does a little bit. Definitely there's definitely give and expansion, and the pattern doesn't change when it expands. I mean, the pattern on the snake doesn't change no matter how much it's stretched or not. So I would say, whatever's on the skin is there. So if it gets stretched, it's going to distort slightly. So I would say yes, but I would say it's slight. And I think a picture, it doesn't magnify it, but it allows us to focus on it more. If we saw it in person, I don't think we would see it as much, is what I'm trying to say.
I see.
I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I think.
This is a great looking snake.
That's really a great snake, huh?
It really looks cool. I'd give it Well, I think I messed up the scale last time, and I think I need to like kind of take a minute and go back to all the snakes that we've looked at so far and kind of recalibrate the scale. I'd give this 1.5 cups out of 2.
1.5 out of 2. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This is this is a classic case of me. So we're constantly as breeders going, what do I want to work? What do I not want to work as far as genes? Because you just can't work everything. And so Hurricane for me has always been like, it's pretty neat. I don't know. It doesn't get me excited to get out of bed in the morning. Now I'm like, I really need to be working Hurricane. I'm like, oh man, here's another one.
The back part of the tail looks really cool. That's awesome. How it gets like, there is kind of there's a pattern in the middle of it that's pretty like that's kind of repetitious a little bit, but towards the end of the tail, there's kind of like a free for all type of thing,
right? Yeah,
which is really cool, and towards the head too, I guess.
Yeah, nice job, Joe. You're right on all points, man. So I think that's a banging snake, guys. Go check out Canadian Regis again. I believe her name is Nicole, and she was very welcoming. We did some filming in Toronto together last September, and maybe I'll repost it today. I'm looking at it. She's got another one that's very similar. I don't think it's the same snake. I think this isn't. I'm not sure. I have to find out if this is a new one or not. But anyway, go check out her content. She specializes in Hurricane, and now I'm see why. That is that is a banger, man. Fantastic, fantastic. There we go, man. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some sort of year-end wrap-up of we might have to do the coolest snake of the year and see what gets the most points from Joe, you know?
Are you keeping track? Do you have all of them?
No, but I'll go to my buddy at AI, and I'll be like, hey, take all these transcripts, get me all the snakes. Maybe in March, we'll set up a March Madness. That'll be about, 52. We'll do a little bracket, maybe we'll do
that sounds good. Yes.
We'll do a 48 snake bracket, man. That'd be a throwdown. That's going to take a pretty program. Good Lord. Hey, I heard a quote from Warren Buffett. I almost said Jimmy Buffett. Very different Buffett. That is the spectrum of Buffett right there, right?
I mean, they both built like empires, I think.
Big empires, massive. I mean, you couldn't have been born with a more empire-y name, it turns out, than Buffett, man. That's where you want to go if you're in the celestial lottery of names and parents. That's a good one, man. So Warren Buffett, I've heard a quote from him before, but I actually saw a clip of him talking about it. And he says, it is impossible. Do not waste your time. Don't bother. Move on. You cannot make a good deal with a bad person. What do you think of that? Does that ever play into decisions that you make? Is this a good person? Is this a bad person? How does that strike you?
I guess, I mean, that sounds right. Right. And I guess I would go, well, what kind of deal are we talking about? Like, do I have to deal with this person for a long time? Or is this final? Whatever the deal is.
Yeah, I think the length of the relationship matters. But I also think the magnitude of it matters. Like you could have a short, and this isn't picking on the car industry, but it's a big purchase. You could have a short relationship with a relatively finite one-off deal in a car purchase, but maybe there's a bad person. For example, that's a massive purchase that does not have an ongoing relationship. Can you have a good deal with a bad person? Now, I think he more specifically was talking about ongoing business partnerships and, relationships, because his angle was basically, okay, you found that you have somebody that essentially is talking about trust. Okay, you found somebody that you don't trust, so you're going to build a tight. What are you going to do? You're going to build a tight contract. You're going to hold them to the fire. Well, then what? You get in bed with somebody that's litigious and enjoys lawsuits. You're going to pay the lawyers. You're going to get mired in all of this crap. You're going to lose focus on other things that matter. You're going to be. There's not a dollar amount worth that. Take a more expensive, less lucrative deal that is with a better person, is what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder about this because I wonder about all of the different. I mean, okay, somebody comes up to your booth, right, at a show, and you get a vibe, and maybe, I mean, we're both in our 40s, late 40s.
Right. We've seen some people. We've come across good people and jerks. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we give the ocular pat down and we go, okay, I'm getting a vibe. I don't like this. Do you not sell a snake? I mean, so in the past, we've talked about like, oh, you want to make sure that the snake is going to a good home. So let's say that you understand that this person knows what they're doing. They have snakes. You get an idea, but there's something about this person where you go, this is not a good. I just don't feel like this is a good person. Do you not sell them a snake?
It's an interesting question. Let me start by saying, first, I was in a band in high school called the Ocular Pat Down. It was we almost made it. We were gonna be real big, man. It was close. We were huge on the scene. So let me start by saying I love vending shows in this community because there's no any book by any cover. Man, it's fantastic. There are the widest range of people, and I mean it is like every spectrum of people you can imagine, man. And so that part I love. So that's not what we're talking about. What I am about to say is, generally I try and engage with everybody that comes up, and when I engage with them, I'm trying to learn, are they breeders? Do they already have a snake? Do they know what they're doing or don't they? And then that guides which direction I kind of engage the conversation or take the conversation. And then that kind of guides where I might point their attention to what snakes. Now, sometimes it's so busy, people are just, you don't have time to engage with everybody. But in the majority of the time, I do. And then if I start hearing red flags of like a great big red flag would be somebody going, yeah, man, I got 6 snakes. Everybody tells me these things can't live together, but I keep 3 of them in the same aquarium. I'm going, I might not be able to change the world, but I'm not going to, I don't really want to, I don't want to do business. And so, but even still, if somebody were to say that, I would say, well, there is a reason that we say that they should live solo. And I would tell the person there will be dominance exerted over who gets which snake gets the hot spot, and the ones that don't will die a slow, painful death because they can't digest their food. They'll regurgitate. They can't get the nutrients. They'll get sick. And it'll take 6, 8, 10 months for that to happen. And you'll think the whole time, oh, look how happy all these snakes are together, living together. And if they engage and take that feedback, maybe we're in good shape. If they're like, oh man, yes. Yeah, they're like, nah, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, okay. And then I'll just stop engaging. And the fact is, in any reptile expo, there's so many other ball python sellers that if I'm off-putting from like stop engaging, people just go to the next place. They go on. So that would be kind of my I would prefer not to sell to this person. The other thing that happens sometimes is the person who either drives a good deal or negotiates a good deal that is kind of a one-off, and then expects that every time.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a surplus of rodents right now. You're here. I'm here. I don't want to take these home from the show. Let's do a deal. Here you go. And then, and that might be at, 50, 60% of my advertised price, but there's a bulk purchase. There was a scenario there. I generally tell people that. Then they call and they're like, hey, can I get another order? And they're $2 a piece. And I'm like, not a chance, man. And then they're and that is sort of that good deal with a bad person kind of thing. And I've learned this. So now I'm up front with this kind of stuff where I'm like, hey, I want to take care of you. It's part of why I don't like running sales. Whenever you set the bar there, that's suddenly the new expectation of what people have. Hey, you took X% off. Do you do that again? No. Oh, now I'm mad at you. Okay, well, I don't want to do that anymore. So sometimes things like that happen too.
Yeah, I think I'd like to hear a little bit more about what he's talking about, because I think we kind of I took the quote and I made it like very okay. Let's apply it and let's do. But maybe there's something more in the spirit of what he's saying. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. That's the quote, right?
Right. Correct.
So you can make a deal. It's just not going to be great for you. But the best deals are going to come from good people. The best deals are going to come from good people.
He's arguing even if it's a good deal that you made with this bad person, it's inherently not a good deal.
It's inherently not a good deal.
Yeah.
Because now you're in bed with that person.
And it takes extra effort. Now you have to coddle whatever that situation is. And all of that takes away from, like, I drive myself nuts sometimes, probably a lot. That's probably why people like watching me go nuts. But I constantly think about.
I enjoy it.
I know. Is the time I'm spending in my professional time, is the time I'm spending adding value to the customer? So like I can't stand, as much as I love numbers and analysis, I can't stand accounting. Accounting does nothing. It's not cleaning the snakes. It's not making the snakes healthier. It's not providing beautiful snakes or wonderful experience to the customers. It's not interacting with customers. It's not posting on social media to grow a community and to promote my brand. It's not podcasting. It is literally sitting there in front of a computer so that the quote business gets managed right. And usually it's so that I can pay my taxes properly. I hate accounting because of that. And so I think about that of, all right, how quickly or how quick can I ship that off to somebody? I'm not quite at the point where I can just hire somebody to do that for me, which I would really like to do, but I don't. So I like to think about all the things of, am I adding value for a customer or for my brand? If you're in a relationship or a deal with a bad person, that bad person is going to take away time that you could be doing those things. I think that's my point. It's going to cost, or his point, and it could cost you money, reputation, sanity, all that kind of stuff.
Even if the initial deal seemed by other measures great,
right?
Seems like, oh, that's a great deal. If you get in bed with a bad person, it's going to be something. There's going to be some kind of problem with it, which makes me think, okay, there is. It kind of harkens back to like what we were talking about earlier, like if there's an opportunity that presents itself to you, I think what most people do is they look at the pros and cons of that particular deal. They go, oh, that particular opportunity has this pro, and this is what it's going to cost me, and this is what I'll get from it. And the mindset is to stay on that and to weigh the pros and cons of that particular deal. What I think the spirit of the quote is, like, we oftentimes don't think about where that deal is coming from. And so that has to factor into not just not just what the pros and cons, what you give and what you get from that, but it has to be, there's something else that's there that needs to be considered, and that's the person that you're getting into bed with. I keep saying that.
Well, and it's ironic, and I'm certainly not going to get into the nuances of this analogy. But sometimes when you get in bed with a person, it seems like a really good opportunity, and you find out days later it is not. That was not a good opportunity.
Perfect. That's a great analogy.
I actually can't do it any better than that.
That's a great
very high reward. Seemed like a really good decision. Not the best, right? So
yeah, right.
But Joe, you were asking earlier about selling a snake to somebody. I would flip the table. Can you buy a really good deal snake from a bad person? What happens when or if the snake arrives and it's not healthy, or it has mites, or it doesn't have the het that the person told you that it did, or a gene? Are they going to make it right? And what recourse is there? And really the answer is none. You can leave a bad review, but generally those kinds of people don't care anyway, or they're selling in a way that doesn't really have a good review system. It's likely going to cost you far more in lawyer fees to go after somebody than the actual snake is worth. Even in small claims court, where you don't have to have a lawyer, what deciding factor is the judge going to, the judge isn't going to be an expert on hets and whatnot. And this person's already proven that they're a liar. That's kind of the perfect example of what Warren Buffett's talking about. If it's not a good person in the first place, don't do the deal. You you have nothing to go back on other than the poor result,
It's interesting. It reminds me of like this, like I was just talking about my area. The area here in Wesley Chapel is it's grown so fast over the past 10 years. But what is coming into the area is our reliable franchises. You know what I mean? So it's less personal, and you're always like I don't know. I'm somebody who's always looking for like, oh, let's go to the new small business.
Right. What's the local place? What's this person cooking up? Yeah.
But man, people want. Or maybe it's just who can afford it to move into this area. It's like the restaurants that have been around for a while and all of that. I think where I'm going with this is that what you're saying is that there's almost a better reliability or a better system in place for reliable service or product from large companies that care about what people think of them. But there's a disconnect there, though. There's some kind of weird dissonance there.
I don't think that it has to be a large company. I think that the company got large because they did the right things that I'm talking about. And that's the payoff.
But it's strange though, because
it is a catch-22. Yeah. Because
there's no personality to it. You're not dealing with one person.
Yeah.
But because that company is so widespread, it actually, in the back of our minds, it legitimizes the service and product. So it's strange. It is strange. Our approach to these things, and I wonder if that translates to the snake industry.
Well, let me jump in. I'll give you an example that touches on both. So I remember to this day, and I still think about it like constantly. In those days, which has been 20 years, so starting 30 years ago to 20 years ago, the first and last thing that every person in a Ruby Tuesday saw when they walked into the kitchen and out of the kitchen in every Ruby Tuesday was a sign that said, there is no quality without consistency. And it plays to what you're talking about in that being reliable and people knowing what they're getting. At the time, Ruby's was pretty high in the game. They're not now, but they were. But it was because every chicken tender came out exactly right. Every ramekin had 1.5 ounces of honey mustard in it and was placed at 3 o'clock on the plate below the 5 chicken tenders right next to the piece of kale. I still remember this stuff because it was just banged into my head, and that's what you had to do. But it didn't have any soul, right? It didn't have any character, didn't have any, it was just a machine to turn a profit for its shareholders. And like I say, we see where it's at now. So I do think about that. My argument is maybe not so well, yes, be on the lookout for bad players if they're bad people that you're making a deal with, but also be the good person that person is making a deal with. That's so I still, like, I'm such a process driven person. Somebody asked me the other day, because I had a male that's not breeding, and they're like, well, did you try this trick? Did you try this? Like, there's all sorts of lore about how to get males to breed. And I'm like, no, I'm so process driven and I trust the process so much. And I know that sometimes things don't work out. I'm not going to get distracted by interrupting my process to take the snake for a drive or to figure out where another male snake shed is or this or that. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to collect the data. I'm going to analyze it, and I'm going to change it based on data and results. So all that is to say, to tie it all back to the topic at hand. And Joe, I do think those companies got big because they did the right things and they did the consistent thing right. But the individual, the small guy, the snake Adam, can employ that mindset in my business and my relationships and my standards, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that would be the ideal person to get into bed with.
Well, those days are over for me, sir. But relationship wise, business wise, yes.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks again for a great conversation on Thursday morning. It's always a great way to start your day. So if you're tuning in now, or if you're catching the replay, this is what we do Thursday morning. So come check us out live, and always chat. Thanks again for all your input.
Thank you, everybody. Go check out Heart of the Python, Husbandry Pro. I got to get on my game. Husbandry Pro next, and Cold Blooded Cafe. Thanks, everybody. Same time, same place next week. See you soon. Adios.
Yeah.